First place Raiders in a game that featured intense defense. Returning from injury, number 20, Deron Cherry's big hit on Bo Jackson saved a touchdown, forced a turnover. Number 93, Greg Townsend led the Raiders defense that did not allow a touchdown, but Casey had the final word. Number 23, Barry Woods, 85 yards, positioned the Chiefs for 3 Nick Lowry field goals and a 9-7 win. The rematch today, the prize to the winner, first place.
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Raiders.
Smoggy and near 80 degrees in Los Angeles, California, the historic Coliseum with an expected crowd of over 60,000 to see two teams that have been married since early in the AFL days, 1960. There are the standings in the AFC West. The Raiders with a one-game lead over Kansas City, a better division record, but with Kansas City's win earlier at Arrowhead, a Kansas City victory today would tie them and actually put them with an edge in first place. What kind of game would we see?
Well, I think it's the 4 running backs, 2 for each team, hammering at that line of scrimmage, a battle of attrition, but at some point, Dick, there'll be a big forward pass that'll make the difference.
But the team that rushes the ball well should win it.
Should win it, but the forward pass is going to make the difference. Today's weather is so much better than the last contest that the pass will be a factor, whereas a few weeks ago when they played in Kansas City, no factor.
The Chiefs take the kickoff in the end zone and will start at their 20-yard line as Jeff Jager hits it deep. And here comes Steve DeBerg, the veteran from San Jose State, and here is his offensive set. John Olt, David Zott, a rookie from Penn State. The veteran Mike Webster starts at center with Lutz and Baldinger on the right side. The backfield with DeBerg has Bill Jones, the blocker, Christian Okoye, the NFL rushing leader of a year ago, Page and Thomas, the wideouts, with Hayes at tight end. When they go to their 4 wide, those men leave the lineup. Todd McNair, a good receiver in the backfield with Jones and Burton, 2 young speedsters. Marty Schottenheimer trying to get in more speed against the Raiders. On first down, it's Okoye, and they're waiting for him, a 2-yard gain. Okoye, the man who softens up the defense, and then Barry Woods been the man who's had big second halves. From the Coliseum in Los Angeles, we welcome those of you who have just seen the upset in Cincinnati as the Colts defeat the Bengals 34-20, and the Colts are now entertaining thoughts of playoffs. They've come back. Many have discounted them. We're just underway. The opening kickoff. Steve DeBerg and the Kansas City Chiefs looking at 2nd and 8, second play of the game. Howie Long charging offside. Was he drawn? While we're doing so, here is the black and silver defensive alignment. The Raiders, one of the toughest defenses in the league.
Number 75, defense.
And it is against Howie Long, a 5-yard penalty, and many feel this front four is as good as any. 3 sons there at linebacker, Robinson, Ellison, and Benson. McDaniel and Washington at the corners, Harden and an injured Anderson at safety. When they go to their dime package, Dorn and Patterson come in to join those other 4 defensive secondary starters.
That Steve DeBerg cadence or snap count has already got Howie Long. He got him in the last game too, and he's going to really work that to slow down that quick explosive movement of the Raider front 4.
Okoye bowling his way after he's hit for 2 yards, but still a yard shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 at the 29. Okoye, who played his college ball, had never seen a game until he came here from Nigeria, attended Azusa Pacific, and now one of the top players in the National Football League, although not living up to last year's yardage. He's number 1 for Kansas City with 684 yards, but averaging only 3.5 yards a rush.
You know, Dick, he's sort of a battering ram at the start of this game, just to take something out of that Raider defense. I doubt he can make much yardage, if any, but it's just a war of attrition especially in the early phases of this game.
DeBerg changing his play, gives to Koye, straight forward, and it looks as if he's shy of the first down. So the Raiders, who showed their defensive toughness at Miami on Monday night, come out and stop Kansas City in their first possession, and the Coliseum crowd gives the defense a hand.
I think the Chiefs know or realize they can't win the game with those kinds of plays. Maybe later on when the Raiders fatigue a little bit, tire a little bit, but early on the Raiders are just too strong to allow Okoye to push them very far back.
Brian Barker to punt now, and Tim Brown stands at the 30 of the Raiders. Short kick. Bad kick, out of bounds right at Jay Schrader inside the 45 of the Raiders. It'll be marked at the 44, so Barker's punt short, a 26-yard right as his offensive protectors. Marcus Allen will start. We'll see plenty of Bo Jackson, Steve Smith the blocker, Gall and Fernandez the wideouts, Ethan Horton, the former Chief, at tight end. When they go to three wides, it's Tim Brown in, and Smith goes out. They start in the eye. That means Marcus Allen. And he has two, maybe three, into the arms of the leading tackler of the Chiefs, Dino Hackett, in his 5th year from Appalachian State. The Chiefs, like the Raiders, tough on defense. Smith, Saliamua, Moss, the front three, Martin Snow, the rookie from Michigan State, Hackett, and Derek Thomas. 15 sacks for Thomas to lead the NFL. Lewis and Ross, Pro Bowlers at the corners. Porter and Cherry at safety.
Schrader was out working a full hour before the game with Mike White, his quarterback coach, on the timing of his passes. And that hopefully will be a difference for the Raiders, because going inside and outside, running that ball, both of these teams are going to have trouble.
Marcus cutting back, and he has an open field on the far sidelines. Could go all the way. And Kevin Ross able to chase him down at the 20. A flag is down, and we may have a penalty against the Raiders. At least Neil Smith thinks so. Jerry Markbright in the white hat, the referee.
The Chiefs pursued so hard into that toss play. Mark is famous. I wonder how many times he's cut back on this Coliseum turf and made the big play.
So a long run of 33 yards called back as Allen got a little too much help.
Holding, number 65, offense. 10 yards, 2nd down.
Max Montoya, the former Bengal, the starting right guard.
Montoya holding is rather difficult to see, but he reaches to block and can't quite make the block. You see him moving to his right, and he's pulling down from behind.
Tackled Neil Smith, and it was right in front of the referee. Bo Jackson is now the tailback on 2nd down and 18. And too much time on the Raiders.
Montoya used that old pro technique right at the end of the block. Every tendency, everything the Raiders do, by formation, by people.
Computer sharp. Oh, down goes Jay Schrader as Saliamua, who grew up in Southern California, attended Arizona State, charging through from his nose tackle position, his 5th sack of the year.
Sitting off the ball, and he comes to the ball, and it looks as though Montoya has him with the spin out. Does it? Beautiful spin out move. And Montoya actually had both arms outside, and Saliamua still got around with that spin move. Talking to him before the game, he felt that was really the only way from where he aligns himself, a yard off the ball, that he can get it done.
Updated then, Kansas City leading the NFL with 38 sacks. Miami got a couple today to tie Kansas City as we started here in the Coliseum, but now the Chiefs back in front. 3rd and a mile for Schrader, who can throw it a mile, and goes for Willie Galt. Kevin Ross had him covered well, and the Los Angeles Raiders stopped with that holding call on the long.
They got a 5 to 8 yard gain. It just helps later on.
Yeah, they got the ball after the short punt on the 44. Now they have to kick from their 22, so they lost 22 yards on the possession. And of course the Chiefs, best in the NFL at blocking punts, and they line up 10 men. Gossett gets it away. Short. J.J. Burton comes up. and eats it at the 38-yard line. What a hit. Downfield was Elvis Toast Patterson, the former New York Giant. Timeout. The back 61st meeting of these two teams. They go back, and even in the 60s and 70s, it's the kind of game we expect to see today. Really hard-nosed stuff.
Well, it'll just be big linemen offensively and defensively hammering at each other, especially the early stages. Marcus Allen just made a play called back, a cutback. Really, the only yardage, Dick, you'll see is somebody breaking the blocking pattern and breaking away from the pursuit, because so much pursuit and such big bodies, there'll be nowhere to run, really.
Steve DeBerg, after the punt, starts at his own 37. And Okoye drawing a crowd again out at the 40-yard line. Down on the nose, there's an interesting matchup between this man, Bob Golick, who played, of course, for Marty Schottenheimer when Schottenheimer was in Cleveland. And he goes for the 18th time against veteran Mike Webster, the 9-time Pro Bowler. And when they came out before the game today, he looked at Webster and said, "Are you still playing? Are you still in there?"
Can you believe 18 games? And when we talk about matchups,
he said he gets a thrill playing against him because he's looking at Hall of Fame right into those eyes of Webster whenever he retires and has his 5 years away from active duty. 2nd and 7. Okoye protecting the ball. Churning for 3. Scott Davis, number 70, the most improved of those Raiders down linemen. He's from Illinois, 280 pounds. He has 8 sacks this year. And bull strong, says Art Shell.
He's a Mutusak of the 90s, so to speak. A better athlete than Mutusak was for the Raiders. But Scott was one of those draft choices Al Davis made. Other people weren't willing to take him or were overlooking him. He had the size, the strength, all those physical attributes, but he was not really that competitive. He showed a disinterest in football at times and an inconsistency in his play, but the Raiders wanted that physical specimen, and then they adapt that to the Raiders style of football. And here again, you've got a potential Pro Bowl football player that others wouldn't take. 3rd and 4, underneath it goes, close to a first down. Fred Jones, the rookie from Grambling. That'll be his first catch as a pro, and he comes up limping. It would appear that he has the first down by about a half yard. Torn Dorn, a rookie defender from North Carolina, made the hit for the Raiders. Both clubs you'd think are under wraps, but this is it, Dick. This is the offense we're going to see, at least until the later stages of the game. Kansas City just willing to take on a war of attrition with the Raiders and go head-to-head with them, full of confidence. The difference today, though, is the weather. Remember Kansas City, that we had that 20-mile-an-hour wind. Neither team could throw. So I still think the team that throws most effectively will win today. That's Barry Ward just into the backfield for Okoye, using his elusiveness at 240 pounds to make something out of nothing, and he's inside the 50 at the 49 of the Raiders. Final score, Rams in San Francisco, Pittsburgh Jets. Phoenix gets a touchdown early against the Patriots. You know, Dick, those teams, looking at those scores, those teams that play defense can be consistent. Those teams that don't play real good defense, like the Bengals, are going to struggle all year. One great win and one average game. It's word again for a couple. Ricky Ellison, number 50, made the tackle. Ellison's going to have a tough week ahead of him, Bill Walsh, after what happened here at the Coliseum last night. Oh, Ricky worked with him in San Francisco. He started for us for a number of years, a Super Bowl champ, but is he a USC fan? He was a great player at Southern Cal and so proud of it, so boringly outspoken about it. Well, he took on Golick and these other Notre Dame guys, Tim Brown, and he wanted some kind of a bet. They conceded finally no money, but you'll have to wear a Notre Dame hat. And a shirt now. And a shirt. I don't know, maybe there's socks and everything. Jock's involved now, because each day they added to the bet. Well, Ricky's going to be outfitted for the rest of the week. After Southern Cal fell to the Irish 10-6 last night, 91,000 here at the Coliseum. The throw is complete. A flag is down, however, as Stephon Page has the catch and Eddie Anderson the tackle. That Raider coverage is so tight. They play that hard bump and run coverage all over the field. And the only advantage, there's illegal procedure, but the only advantage that the offensive team has is that the offensive receiver.
Illegal formation foul. Offense, only 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
That takes a first down catch away from Kansas City. The receivers are covered so tightly all the way across the board that they can't, there's 6 men on the line, and boy, I can't read that one at all. I can't see any reason to call that. instead of a first down. It's a 3rd and 9. Down to Thomas, and is he drilled? Rob Thomas.
Could you see that coming? Oh, boy.
Mike Harden and Torn Dorn had him well covered. And the punting team comes on, but first the flag is down in the backfield of the Chiefs.
Now that seam pattern should be caught about 20 yards deep. DeBerg threw it about 35, right into the safeties. You come back and plead with him. Don't do that again.
Full start. Number 77 offense. The play does not count.
No play.
Still 3rd down.
That negates the play because the penalty occurred before the snap.
Look at both people sandwiching. Oh, and Thomas is not a big guy, 175 pounds. And that's part of being a receiver. The only thing you can live with is you can expect it to happen, account for it, so you almost prepare yourself physically even though you're right in the middle of the air.
5 minutes, 11 seconds left, first quarter, no score. 3rd down, 14 now, closer to 15. Good protection.
Batted ball.
One hopper. J.J. Burton was in the area, and once again, the Raider defense is held.
I think the only way to play this Raider team is to run shallow crossing patterns to get away from those tight bump and run.
Wobbly and high. Brown is going to return. And gets across the 25-yard line, and with it a timeout. Just under 5 minutes left in a scoreless first period. Quite a contrast in the weather difference from Kansas City with that hard driving sleet and rain as Christian Okoye intended to that left wrist or hand. Raiders with the ball at their 26-yard line. Marcus Allen now the tailback behind Smith, and that's Golt in motion. Allen tripped up at the 29. Marcus Allen, the all-time rusher in Raider history.
Strictly a Hall of Fame player at some point in his career, but you talk to him about Bo Jackson. And Marcus, and speaking of Bo, said he's the fastest, which everybody agrees, the fastest man probably ever to play the game for 20 yards. Explosive, quick, swift, and in his tackled, he gets his pads under the tackler, so he's always falling forward. So you have Bo with that swiftness and Marcus with the ability to read and break. What a great combination. It's just too bad you couldn't get them both in the game at the same time.
Steve Smith, the only back behind Schrader, and the big guy from Penn State hammers his way close to a first down, may have fumbled. A scramble, and the Chiefs say they have it. Was it whistled dead?
Smith is usually back there just to block.
Kansas City recovers at the Raider 38-yard line.
Normally Smith's just to blocking. I think they're just trying to break their pattern and their tendencies by running it, because he's usually there so that he can block and protect for Schrader. Breaking through the line. Now he does. Oh, it's lost real early. He lost that at the line of scrimmage.
Ron Cherry didn't get it. It was Dan Saliamua. Oh my, Saliamua now has recovered 5 fumbles this year and 10 in 2 years since he came to the Chiefs from Detroit, and now they're a +19 to lead the league in turnovers.
You look at their overall stats and you wonder why they do so well, but the turnover factor, +19 offensively. Now that is unbelievable.
They used the turnovers in the first game to win 9-7. Barry Word didn't get much at all.
You get that pursuit coming down the line, and it is the entire team. You see people walking back. You get Davis coming down the line, but Benson in particular, number 54, he's in a position as a linebacker to pursue and really be unblocked. And he comes right down that line of scrimmage right in front of us, does a beautiful job. By the design of the defense, the Raiders put Benson in behind Davis, and you really can't get a lineman out on him. So when the play goes to the opposite side, he's right down the line to make the stop. You see him lined up now, stacked in behind Howie Long.
Draw play to Word. Look at him pick his holes, and he was one man from possibly a touchdown as he's hit at the 27 after a gain of a dozen and a first down. Flag is down, holding Kansas City.
You know, the Chiefs have not been a great road team in recent years, even under Schottenheimer.
Holding Number 53, offense. 10
Mike
yards,
Webster.
second down.
If you're right down there with them, I guess you see them, but they're calling a tight game today, which makes it tougher to run because so much of that run blocking, you have to sustain the block, and often you'll end up with an arm or something on the wrong side.
Second and 20, and Golick finally charges through and logs his 4th sack of the year. That was a coverage sack. They wanted to go to something quick. No one was open, and DeBerg then went to a secondary receiver, couldn't find one open, and Golick charged through the block of Webster.
You know, at Cleveland, here's a matchup of two great, in a sense, old-timers. At Cleveland, they took Golick out in passing situations, and that has disturbed him. He says the reason he has so much enthusiasm this year and feels so much a part of this team is they'll keep him in all situations, often in a passing situation. And that time he took Webster and just body slammed him.
Down the middle to Thomas and almost intercepted. Well covered, and another flag is down.
Scott Davis was all over DeBerg. Just a full shot right down the middle. So the pass protection part of it for Kansas City just isn't holding up, but a lot of teams are having trouble with this front four. So you see a long inside, people coming outside, but look at Davis right through it.
Illegal motion against Kansas City, declined by the Raiders, who will now get the ball on the punt.
The Raider defense is awesome at this point in just coming up the field between offensive blockers. And at this point, Kansas City is just not able to hold them out. And DeBerg also is trying stuff well down the field, taking about an extra second before the pattern develops.
Ryan Parker gets a good one this time. Brown will take it right at the 10. What a play downfield, and a flag goes down as Todd McNair charging downfield to make an excellent tackle, dropping Brown for a yard loss after a 45-yard punt, and a flag right at the spot of the tackle. Might be that McNair was being pushed in the back as he was making the hit.
Well, this being backed up, the Raiders playing excellent defense.
Illegal block, number 25, receiving team. While the kick was in the air, half the distance, first down, timeout.
2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the first period. Timeout.
Around you at times, and Marty can express himself, exert himself, and that's why you've seen such a turnaround with the Kansas City Chiefs.
From the 4-yard line, it's Marcus Allen scrambling for 2 or 3 as they unpile Derek Thomas and others making the tackle. Bill Moss down at the bottom of the pile. Rams have the early lead at Candlestick, and Phoenix still 7-0 late in the first against the Pats. Those are the other late games on a day thus far that has featured the underdog effort. Some long shot wins today.
Raiders playing excellent defense, but getting backed up. They're going to have to put something together, or just by a war of attrition, they'll finally have to give up points.
Well, they overcame the fumble at their own 38. Now it's Bo Jackson, and his first carry gets it to the 11-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 3. Derek Thomas, who made the Pro Bowl as a rookie last year after 10 sacks and has 15 and an NFL record this year, made the stop.
Bo Jackson coming into his own at this point in his career. Bo has such explosive movement. No one in the game has had that kind of explosive, quick movement. Now, his first 2 or 3 games, Dick, you don't quite see it, but once he gets in gear and so-called conditioned for football, then you start noting it, and as the season progresses, he'll be more and more effective.
Bo stays in the backfield, so does Marcus, but they send Marcus at a split receiver way out to the far side and give to Bo running in that direction. He draws a crowd. Bill Moss with Ron Cherry coming up from safety to make the tackle, and there's Cherry reading off some of the tips, and as he studies the films, tendencies, and he seemed to know where that play was going and was there to make the hit.
Cherry has more knowledge and history, position on the field, all of it.
Angeles, we start the second quarter with the Raiders in punt formation, and they face the NFL's best in Albert Lewis, who has picked off 3 this year, 9 in his career. Let's see where he lines up. He's going to line up over on the far right side. Almost a quick snap, and Gossett sends a beauty toward J.J. Burton at the 46 of Kansas City. 45, 40, and out of bounds at the 35 of Los Angeles. 42-yard punt, 17 on the return. Gossett himself bumped Burton out of bounds.
The Raiders tried to get the ball off quickly before Kansas City could line up for their punt rush, and they got away with it. The punt was extremely good. It was kicked to an angle, but still it was caught and came down that sideline. That's just the quickness of Burton.
Next Sunday on NBC, here's our lineup. NFL Live at 12:30, Miami, Washington. The Chiefs will be at New England, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh in the rematch. The late games, Raiders at Denver, Houston, Seattle, Indy playing well at Phoenix. From the 36-yard line. Best penetration for either team. The Chiefs had it at the 38 on the fumble recovery. Play action by DeBerg. It works. Then down the middle. Complete, and what a catch. Or was it? The ball is, they scramble for it, and now they signal incomplete.
That had everybody fooled, me included. I know that. DeBerg did a beautiful job, but the throw was late. It was about a 5-yard distance related to how late it was. Just too far down the field, and the safeties were there to make the stop.
Emil Harry, brave.
How well these kind of things have to be timed against a Raider defense that's so alert.
It's Barry Word breaking tackles. And the 240-pound Word from the University of Virginia has 11 yards and a first down at the 25.
He sure made the difference in that last game. 85 yards in less than 2 quarters against the Raiders the previous game, and he was the difference. And again here, he has a style, and he splits, comes right inside Howie Long, right by Ricky Ellison, and breaks down the field. Look how he puts his pads down and goes. That was 5 yards once contact had been made. Townsend coming through, just a little shot under the chin just to make sure everybody is alert.
On the 25, a first down, Kansas City. No score early second quarter. Fake to Word. Incomplete. He had Thomas breaking free in the end zone. Didn't see him, along with
Stephon Page was wide open. I'm sure the coaches, Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator, throw to Page, look quickly to him, get it to him, and Steve went to his outlet receiver way too early. Not enough confidence in Page because they had their touchdown. Page had gotten inside McDaniel, and he had his score right there, and they're not going to get that many chances.
Thomas to the left, Page right, tight end Roberts and Hayes both on the right side. Then Roberts in motion. Contact before the snap, and there's no play.
DeBerg's snap counter cadence is something that's maddening for everybody. Certainly the defensive team, but I can recall with the 49ers, he pulled his own offense off the side. He got so cute with it.
Jerry Markbright sorting it out against whom?
Encroachment foul, number 75, defense, 5-yard penalty.
That's 2 strikes on Howie Long. It was so quick off the ball anyway.
Howie just can't play DeBerg like he normally plays a quarterback. Sometimes you can tell by the tightening of the shoulders, by the legs, anything. Howie's got a sense for it, but DeBerg is a master at pulling people off by the irregular cadence. And again, I say, his own team. I remember one touchdown pass to win over St. Louis one year. Meanwhile, DeBerg had pulled his own team off.
Barry Word running into traffic. Finally had him stopped, and then the finishing touch from Eddie Anderson coming up from the secondary. A gain of a couple. It'll be 3rd and 3 at the 18.
These runs are so stereotyped. You get that single running back, and you fan block it, you open block it, and start going down the line of scrimmage. Some teams will have a soft spot, and the ball carrier will be able to break back between people and take advantage of it. But the Raider front four and the linebacking is just too physical to get away with it. It's going to take a forward pass to get in that end zone.
See Jerry Robinson, who played here in the Coliseum as a UCLA Bruin All-America. 3rd and about 2.5. They just get it off. DeBerg has a man open. Incomplete in the end zone. Jerry Robinson takes it away from Todd McNair. Great coverage by Robinson. McNair twisting and turning, fighting the sun. Couldn't haul it in.
The Chiefs got everything they wanted. McNair, their best receiver out of the backfield, their utility man, against Robinson, sort of an aging veteran. But Robinson knew just the technique to use. He stayed underneath the throw. made it impossible really for Steve to throw an accurate ball over the top.
Nick Lowry, 9 points on 3 field goals and 3 tries. He leads the NFL in scoring, and it was his 3 field goals that added up to the 9-7 win over the Raiders at Arrowhead. This is a 35-yard attempt. And it is good. Just did slip it through on that left side. So the most accurate place kicker in NFL history. Nick Lowry is now 4 for 4 this year against the Raiders, and Kansas City has the early lead 3-0. Through the air early, but the punt return by Burton of 17 yards got Kansas City deep enough, and Nick Lowry nails the 35-yard field goal for the first score of the game. Lowry.
The Chiefs have tried 4 plays, special plays for this game, and none of them have worked.
Here comes Jamie Holland with good speed and finally run out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So the Raiders get a good return as we send it to New York. All right, Bob, and here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, 60 to 65,000 to see the rematch. Coliseum crowd, of course, cheering for the Raiders, who finally get good field position on the kick return. And Jay Schrader off play action, going to look for something big. Nothing there, throws to the sidelines, incomplete.
Just too late. The ball was thrown too late. Jay had protection. He set up. The pattern's going to be there. Everything looks good to Galt, and then he throws the ball really out of bounds. He's having trouble making up his mind quickly enough. Now you'll see excellent protection as he drops out of there. Nice job by everybody. Got a lot of clearance. He's holding the ball. Now he's way too late. I suppose that Galt was an outlet receiver, but you're going to have to time deep outs. You just can't wait and throw them late, and you saw the result. The defender's too close, and of course the sideline's too close.
Smith close to the 50-yard line as we check our 10-minute ticker. All the scores in front of Pittsburgh, and Phoenix tied in their game with New England. 3rd down and 3. Over the middle and complete to Tim Brown. First down at the Kansas City 32. Kevin Ross made the tackle.
That's the first 3rd and 3 or more that the Raiders have gotten on Kansas City in 2 games. Last time they played, there were 1 out of 11, 1 out of 12 on 3rd and 3 or more. This is the first time they've got it, and Brown breaks from a slot position across the field, and they just can't stay with it. There he breaks very, very sharply, and you just can't stay with him. Once he gets that speed, Pearson has a hard time staying with it. Pearson's a 4.5, but Brown is a world-class speed gun. So those shallow crosses I spoke of in the first quarter are probably going to be the thing that break these defenses on 3rd down.
Deepest penetration for the Raiders to the 32 of Kansas City. Marcus Allen tripped up. Looks as if he ran right over the heels of his blocker, Steve Smith.
Both teams are so strong and quick on defense, they're right at the point of attack by the time the ball gets there. You can't point out any given man because everybody's over there. You can't sustain the block long enough. Neither team are willing to trap, which is something I personally believe should be a factor with any offense. Both teams are counting on their big, strong linemen to take their defender and sustain the block with him and break between them.
Bo Jackson way out to the left in this formation. We draw single coverage from Kevin Porter. They're going to throw to him. No, underneath it goes. As they sent Jackson deep to clear out and Vance Mueller over the middle, but the pass was off mark. Derek Thomas on the coverage.
Again, Schrader did not look to Bo, or he'd have thrown it. Bo was open. He went right out to Vance. A lot of the time it's a matter of the quarterback having confidence in a receiver. Bo's coming straight off the field, slants in. Now he's not a wide receiver, but look at that clearance. Just throw him the ball. Schrader had made up his mind before the ball was snapped. He'd been hitting Mueller in practice, and he did it in the game.
3rd and 9.
The Chiefs have done so well in this situation against the Raiders in the last couple of years, especially the last game.
Schrader, incomplete. Tried to hit Mervin Fernandez. Albert Lewis, the cover man, and Will this be a long field goal try? No, they're going to bring on the punting unit and Jeff Gossett.
At this point, Dick, it looks like a 9-7 game again. I thought
Holder, this will be a 48-yard attempt. His longest this year is 49. To tie, Jaeger. Blocked! And that can return it. It takes a bounce to Lewis. He's got it at the 45 and tackled at the 42 of the Raiders. So blocking again the Chiefs. And when we come back, we'll locate the man who swatted that one back toward the Raider goal line. The Chiefs with another big kick block, and they have the lead 3-0. Right in the center of your picture, you can see the 3 of Bill Moss of 63. He's going to make a clean break in, and he smothers this field goal try, his 4th career block of a field goal.
Max Montoya turned to the outside. Todd Pete turned inside, and Moss really wasn't touched. And this is the difference in these two teams. The special teams of the Chiefs are so much more able and stronger. There's no question about it.
Here's Barry Word trying to get outside, and nothing there. Goes down and is down by Scott Davis for a loss at the 46 of 5 yards.
Kurt Schottenheimer, Marty's brother, has done a beautiful job with these special teams, no question. But they come up with something every week that can make a difference.
And had that been a kinder bounce for Lewis as he talks it over, that was a touchdown. He just couldn't get the bounce. Leading 3-0, 8.5 minutes left in the first half. Kansas City with the ball. Word picking his holes and gets a few yards to the 43.
Now Word is an excellent back. He's trying to pick his spots, and that time he ran about 3/4 speed looking for somewhere to break, and Golick was there. Davis was there. Everybody just moved down the line with the blocker right to the ball.
85 yards by Word, the best by any rusher against that Raider defense this year. A reminder at the end of today's broadcast, McDonald's and NBC will be announcing the Ronald McDonald Children's Charities Player of the Game.
There's the shotgun, and no question what's going to happen. The receivers spread all over the field, and it's very, very evident that Chiefs automatically go to this on any 3rd down situation.
Out of the backfield, incomplete, broken up by Thomas Benson, intended for Todd McNair.
McNair on Benson, single man-to-man, and Benson's technique just staying slightly underneath McNair when he broke out so that he could just reach right in and bat the ball. I assume that at some point we will see McNair break to the flat, then turn up the field late in the game and hope that Benson bites on the same kind of a pattern. But in the meantime, the Raiders are just cutting down this cheap passing game, or the entire offense.
Parker delivers a dying spiral. Tim Brown, fair catch at the 10-yard line. So the Chiefs, they've had a fumble recovery at the Raiders' end and a blocked field goal in a recovery, but haven't been able to produce more. 7 minutes, 29 seconds left in the first half. Chiefs 3 on a 35-yard Lowry field goal. Schrader and the Raiders yet to score. But the defense has denied Kansas City twice on breaks for the Chiefs. Bo Jackson caught by the tail and twisted down by Kevin Porter. Got him by the caboose and denied a long run. And we get a report from San Francisco. The 0-0 Jets and 14-7 now Phoenix in the second. Here 3-0.
That last play, you knew that Bo wanted to cut back, and Kevin Porter was sitting right there waiting for him. So he was filling a backside gap as a safety.
Schrader over to Jackson. And it's a first down at the 25-yard line. Only the 3rd catch this year by Bo Jackson. We start working him into their passing game. Oh, watch out.
That was the slant we'd seen earlier in which Schrader threw to Mueller in the flat. But now he runs the same slant, breaking to the inside. And Kevin Porter can't stay with him, a defensive back, and that's a good catch. In that open field, the ball coming right at your body is not something you typically do as a running back. We always had trouble with our running backs catching those kind of patterns, even though they were open. But Bo, the great athlete he is, just took it in stride.
First down for Schrader. Bo Jackson the call. Slips out of one tackle and gets 2 or 3. Derek Thomas downs him. Let's go to Bob Costas for this report. All right, Bob, and here 3 is enough for Kansas City to have the lead. They've not scored a touchdown in their 2 meetings with the Raiders, and yet they have to win the first go-round. Steve Smith.
So tough. You know, Dick, this surface, they had the Southern Cal Notre Dame game last night on this surface. It's slow today. It really is. They had to water the field slightly. They had to roll it and try to level it off again after that game. And this field is slow for these running backs. So compounding the slow field with really great defensive football at this point in the season by both teams, there's just nothing occurring on that field. It's still going to take a big play somewhere for one of these teams to score a touchdown. They're not going to drive and do it.
In their first meeting, when it was 3rd and 3 or more, the Raiders made only 1 of 11 first downs. This is 3rd and 3.
We've seen one of them earlier on in the first half, but again, they get another chance. Part of it's because Schrader is just not getting the ball off quickly enough. I think that's a big part.
Timeout called by Kansas City. Something they didn't like. Perhaps they were shy a man.
This 3rd and 3, you see some statistics. 1 out of 11 the last time the teams played 3rd and 3 or more, which meant the Raider passing game. Some of those might have been 3rd, 7, 8, or 9, but 1 out of 11 is just almost a hopeless combination. Now you get down to 3rd and 2. Now that big offensive line with Marcus or Bo over the top, they can do that. But this is the toughest factor for the Raiders, and this is really a key to their success this year. They're going to have to make these situations come alive and get something done.
Going to pass on 3rd and 3. Great protection. Wide open is Tim Brown. 40, 30, out of bounds at the 18-17-yard line. 51 yards on the play.
Tim must have lost his man early. There isn't any question about it. He gets wide open, and down the field, J.C. Pearson is going to get cut off down the field. Right here is the play, and Pearson's going to get cut off, and he can't stay with the coverage. So if you see the break to the inside, you see the tight end coming out, walling off, and there's that big hole. And Pearson knew he was beaten. He took a deep angle just to be able to make that stop. What speed. Wow.
Second longest pass play of the year for the Raiders, only their second over 40 yards. Schrader looking for 6, and Fernandez not tall enough. Albert Lewis on the coverage.
Ethan Horton wide open, uncovered, but Jay wanted to hit that slant, and he just stayed right with it.
Second longest pass play for Art Shell, and this is a team, of course, built on that stretch the defense with a long bomb, and prior to today, only 1 pass beyond 40. The Chiefs with 3, including a 90-yarder to J.J. Burton that really set up the win against San Diego last week.
The receivers are averaging 18, 19 yards a catch. As a team, they're averaging 15 yards per catch, which is probably a league high, but they're not scoring with those plays.
Here comes Bo. Gets to the corner. And is finally wrapped up by Duron Sherry at the 6-yard line. That'll be 1st and goal for the Raiders.
They've got some problems on the field. The one thing the Raiders can't afford now, they had a little altercation down to right this minute. But here's, look at Marcus Allen coming off the wingback position. Ethan Horton making an excellent block. And then it's just Bo's speed just bursting to the outside. Bo just couldn't get back underneath. But Dick, did you see just a minute ago, we didn't get it on our camera, an altercation right at this point on the field. All the Raiders needed was a 15-yard penalty to knock them out of field goal position. This may be their chance right here to win this game.
3:38 left in the first half. From the 6. Vincent Edward Jackson, no gain. Leonard Griffin was the man who penetrated, and then Kevin Porter, 27, made the tackle.
Griffin exploded across the line, split 2 people. Wisniewski and Mospar split them and just disrupted the entire play. So the Kansas City defense, they stayed in their basic 3-4 alignment, but then they brought people to the inside and got there before the blockers did.
Loss of a yard. 2nd and goal at the 7. Smith and Jackson now behind Schrader. Delay to Bo. Almost twisted away, and Jeff Donaldson hanging on to that 230 pounds of dynamite. Bo Jackson able to wrestle him down.
Jeff had to get it done at 188 pounds himself. He was the last person that even had a shot at it. Look and come to the outside. Thomas, look at this, barely makes a hold on it. Jackson is so strong in the thighs and in the calves that it's tough to remain with him, to stay with him. And talking with the guys before the game, Albert Lewis and Kevin Ross, they speak of getting both legs or you get no legs, because with one of them he can pull free.
You saw the sidelines, Kansas City wanting time, and that is now acknowledged. The second timeout spent by Marty Schottenheimer. It comes with 2:07 left in the half. 3-0. This drive began at the Raider 10-yard line, and it's now 3rd and goal at the 3. Marcus Allen is the setback, and it's Allen driving into the end zone. Touchdown Raiders.
That was a beautiful job. Marcus Allen extended the last 3 yards really just on effort alone and on his skill of getting underneath tackles. Now Wisniewski and Graves did a fine job of just giving a little grease to him, but he came through that. This is why he'll be a Hall of Fame player. Counter step with a pulling tackle to the outside right, and then he slips right between it. But really, it wasn't Wright's block as a pulling tackle. It was his ability to get underneath it all.
Now 90 yards in 10 plays and the lead as Jaeger tries the point after. 7-3 Los Angeles. 2:03 remaining in the first half. Marcus Allen has scored again. Marcus Allen, who played here at Southern California, that's his 71st career rushing touchdown, his 88th when you count receptions and a fumble recovery. And when you mentioned Hall of Fame to Marcus yesterday, you just see his eyes
he welled
get
up
big.
a little. Yeah.
He like he never thought of it before.
Yeah, and it's there. It really is, especially if the Raiders the next year or two can get back to the Super Bowl.
Well, they're the only team from the AFC to win a Super Bowl in the decade of the 80s. The two won by the AFC were both Raider victories in the Super Bowl. And this team feels it's good enough to make it to Tampa this year. Actually, they want to make it next year in January. Jaeger's kick is high but short. And breaking out is Freddie Jones, and caught from behind at the 48-yard line by Elvis Patterson. A 37-yard return by the rookie at the 2-minute timeout, actually 1:51. Jones at full speed. Look at this darting move to his left. Boom. And that clears his way. And Elvis Patterson, who's made a couple of very big tackles on special teams, saving a possible long run by Jones, who was shaken a bit but appears to be okay. 48-yard line, Kansas City begins. Remember, they used 2 timeouts on defense in that last drive. 1:51 left. They trail now 7-3. DeBerg from the gun. As a man, Stephon Page. And he's tackled at the 44-yard line, and that catch extends Stephon Page's streak. 75 straight games he's had a reception.
That was one of the rare times the Raiders have been in a zone defense, and Page read it, set down, and DeBerg threw the ball on time. But Robinson, people came flying to that ball. Harden and Anderson were there almost as it was caught.
Second down along 2. Nice catch on the far side by Burden, who was a track star at Oregon, was the Pacific 10 long jump champion at 25 feet 8 inches.
He's really come on, hasn't he? They really, even in just the 2 weeks that since we've seen him, Burden has become a major factor, and he's really taken the job of Emil Harry.
Down to the 1-minute mark, first half. First down play. Underneath to McNair, wide open, and he's to the 19-yard line.
Oh, that prevent defense. You know, everybody in the country wonders why go to it, why go to it. The first two plays, the Raiders ran a 3-man rush, and that gave DeBerg all the time he needed.
I'm out with 50.
Instead of 3. So the Chiefs called just the right play. The Raiders rushed that extra man and lost a zone defender in the middle.
There goes Fred Jones limping back to the locker room. Todd McNair with his 23rd catch of the year, giving the Chiefs the first down at the 19. Trailing 7-3, no timeouts left now. DeBerg, trouble with a snap, then throws, intercepted. Or did Anderson catch it? No! He had it right in his mitts and couldn't tuck it away. But in fairness to Anderson, many thought he would not even play today. He had a lot of blood drawn from an injured thigh yesterday.
DeBerg mishandled the snap looking down the field. He gets up and just slings it over in that direction. Anderson standing right there for the ball. And Thomas couldn't even get a play on it. It was just too far out in front of him. The Chiefs got mighty lucky on that one.
DeBerg has been intercepted only 3 times, and this one should have been number 4.
Anderson was so surprised with that, he didn't have his eye on the ball when it came to him.
.45 seconds left, first half. Good protection. Into the end zone, has a man. Touchdown, Emil Harry. The former Stanford star who grew up here in Southern California makes the over-the-shoulder catch, and the Chiefs take the lead.
Harry made a beautiful catch on an excellent pattern, and it was his release from the line of scrimmage that really made.
Now, and here's the try for point by Lowry. Kansas City down 7-3, less than 2 minutes to go, drives it right down, 52 yards in 5 plays to recapture the edge at 10-7. As he got the ball out to the 48, now the Raiders with all their timeouts wait for Lowry to send it in the air. Spins to the far side to Ron Brown, the former Olympian. He's got a little daylight, and waiting was Bill Jones and Jeff Donaldson to make the tackle at the 33-yard line. And here comes Schrader with 33 seconds left. Alive at 12:30.
Now we'll get a chance to look at the other prevent defense. 34 seconds, a couple of big plays, and we might get a field goal out of it.
Schrader. What a catch by Ethan Horton. One-hands the ball as he was falling down for a gain of 9 or 10 yards. What a catch by Horton.
Call a timeout.
And they do it with 17 seconds finally. Third line of Kansas City.
Well, this won't be a Hail Mary, I don't believe. It'll be something with these 3 people at the bottom of the screen sprinting down the field, and then Gold or somebody coming back underneath the other 2.
Schrader eludes the rush. And there it is. Gold at the 30, fumbles the ball. Picked up by Kevin Ross, but they've called the play dead. They say that Gold was down. The ground created the fumble.
Well, we got it. Everybody straight up the field, and Galt stopping at about 25 and coming in, and Schrader hitting him. Now, that's the one pattern that Schrader can throw so well with that strong arm. And Galt couldn't do much with it, and maybe they're going to replay to see if he actually caught it.
They down him at the 32, which would make it about a 49-yard field goal. With 6 seconds left, they're going to go for another play.
Schrader does an excellent job coming underneath, then throws that ball, and Galt by now is pulled up inside the defenders. And if he knows if he can just get another 5, he's got 3 points.
He was already down before the tackle, so there's no danger of them losing that ball on a reversal.
So all I can do now, Dick, is break someone sharply into the flat running, throw, catch the ball, and run right out of bounds. That's about all he can do at this point. As I'm not sure they can get a timeout called quickly enough with any other kind of pass.
Yeah, and I'm sure Marty Schottenheimer's telling his defensive backs just that, to be conscious of that play to the outside.
He's got to be right down the line, throwing the ball, and the receiver just continuing right out of bounds. They can get another 5 or 6 yards that way. And maybe that'll be the difference for the 3 points.
Gary Markbright. It sounded as if he was about to turn on his microphone, but no reversal, as that was obvious that Galt was already down. They put 3 seconds back on the clock, so there's 9 seconds now.
Well, that gives them their chance.
That's a big difference.
So they can catch a ball now and get a timeout call.
1 timeout left for the Raiders, trailing 10-7. More offensive action in the last 3 minutes of this first half than the first 27. Flags are down, and Schrader threw that one away. There's the flag. There wasn't an eligible receiver anywhere near Schrader, only a lineman, Montoya.
Well, he really wasn't in danger of being sacked, though, Dick. I mean, he was running to the outside. There wasn't anybody there. He could have run with the ball. Now, that interpretation of the rule would sort of startles you. He didn't have to throw that pass. And that's how the rule's supposed to be interpreted.
Illegal hands to the face, number 31 defense. Intentional grounding on the offense. Penalties offset.
Oh, that was their chance
First
right
down
there.
again.
And Schrader was not in danger of being sacked. He was clearly outside of everybody and wanted to stop the clock.
Now they'll have to go for the field goal with only 4 seconds remaining. And this one will be about 49 yards. Jaeger tried one from 48 that was smothered by Big Bill Moss. This one would tie. He's missed only 3, counting the one today, all season, 10 for 13. It'll be 50 yards, 50. His longest attempt of the year. Good leg. He's got it. Oh, on the last play of the half, Jeff Jaeger drills a 50-yarder. And this game is tied at 10 at the intermission. We'll be right back after this word from the NFL and from your... And it really is almost uncharacteristic the way this Raider team has been playing this year. Ground game, grinded out with Allen and Bo Jackson, and Schrader picking his spots, but not that long stretch of the defense.
Safety man that's deep, that really takes away that deep throw. The big yardage is going to have to come from crossing patterns like Harry caught and Tim Brown caught for the Raiders as the game progresses. Deep crossing patterns going to the far side of the field after someone else has stretched the defense down the field.
And both of those materialized when the quarterback was protected very well. The pass rush really not bothering his sightlines a bit. Lowry ready for the second half. Kicks it toward the sidelines. Ron Brown at the 7. Olympic type speed, and boom at the 27-yard line as the Chiefs' Jim Saxon just activated. The running back makes the hit.
Bowl?
California Bowl now.
The California Bowl.
Oh, Jay Schrader from his 27-yard line. Bo Jackson to the corner.
Gee.
Draws the entire Chief team. If they ever worked a reverse off that, someone could run for a mile and a half. Derek Thomas, who chases that play down, unable to get to the passer Schrader in the first half.
The Raiders have done a great job on Thomas. Even at the previous game, he didn't get that much done, but look at coming right down the line, using all his speed to try to intersect when Jackson finally gets to the other side of the field. And as you point out, Dick, a reverse at some point here, handing off to Jackson, then handing off back to Fernandez or Galt would have a heck of a chance.
Gained a yard. Schrader on the run, throws it into an empty spot. He had Bo Jackson short, Ethan Horton a little deeper, and Derek Thomas. Let's see how he pursued Schrader. This one, O'Neal and Williams of the Chargers a half sack, and Cross, Dent, and Bruce Smith all shut out. And they protected Schrader well. He's been sacked only 17 times this year. 3rd down and 9. All kinds of running room. That's a first down and more. And down he goes at the 45-yard line, first down. 17 yards on the play.
He let everybody go by him, and he still wanted to throw it, but what a break. Because in this kind of a situation, man-to-man coverage all over the field, you'll see Schrader coming up the field and all kinds of room up inside of him.
Boy, did you see that block by Marcus Allen like chopping down a tree?
Chris Martin blitzed, and Marcus caught him under the legs and cut him down. Marcus Allen, one of the best pass protectors in football as a running back. Schrader running. Now this dimension is what the Raiders need. If he'll start doing that and be decisive about it, they can make that big play from out of nowhere, the kind of thing Montana has done so well.
Bo Jackson into the pattern, but Schrader had to dump it off in a hurry because there was pressure coming from Lewis Cooper, number 55.
Cooper coming from the outside, and I'm sure it was the kind of play that Jackson should have read. As Cooper came running by him, Jackson should look very quickly because there isn't a way really to block Cooper. He's the extra pass rusher. So as you see Cooper coming to the outside with Smith inside, Schrader wants to throw it, and Bo isn't quite ready for it. Now, I think Schrader made a mistake by giving too much ground, making a tougher throw for him.
Well, it's got to worry defensive coordinators around the AFC that Bo Jackson now being worked more and more into the passing scheme. 2nd and 10 from the 45, Raider territory. Blitz on. Oh, was he hit? And they say no fumble as Percy Snow, the #1 draft pick from Michigan State, like shot out of a gun at Schrader.
Well, Martin was there too. They had unblocked people. The Chiefs have blitzed 3 times now. And you see Snow coming right outside of Smith, unblocked. So the Raiders really didn't pick up that stunt. But they've gone after the Raiders this second half, something they haven't been doing in recent games against anybody.
Percy Snow, it chatted with him. He still wears that Rose Bowl watch when the Spartans came out to Pasadena a few years ago.
Well, he's had some maturing to do and some educating to receive from Bill Cowher and Marty Schottenheimer about learning the disciplines of the game. As a rookie, he thought he'd just come in and play like he did Michigan State, and not so.
3rd down and 20. Schrader fumbles the ball. That's a live ball picked up by Percy Snow. It is, or is it Thomas? It's a Derek Thomas to the 12-yard line. The right man in the right spot, and he goes away limping.
Schrader running, had the ball out in his right hand, loosely holding it. Now he's making a good move here because the pass protection isn't really holding up well. But Thomas hits with, he dropped the ball before Thomas even got there. It was Martin hit him, but the ball was out first.
And Derek Thomas showing some good open field running.
60, Raiders penalty decline, 1st down, Kansas City.
Well, the Raider penalty obviously declined. Derek Thomas, as he was tackled, had his ankle pinned underneath him. And let's see how.
Well, there's Martin. He lost the ball early. Now Thomas will show up, and he makes a nice move of concentrating on the ball. So often you'll try to pick it up and be looking at somebody who's about to hit you. Now he gets his leg caught up underneath him.
A big break for the Chiefs in a 10-all tie, early 3rd period, as they start from the 12-yard line. Christian Okoye, the running back.
There's the play
action.
fake.
And almost intercepted, knocked down by Ricky Ellison, just as a receiver was breaking free in the end zone. Appeared to be Robbie Thomas. That's Page, the leading receiver, in motion. And the throw underneath goes to Bill Jones. Jones, a good move, touchdown. His 4th of the year on only 11 catches. Bill Jones, the blocking back, delivers again.
There were 2 tackles right there. Jones comes out of the backfield, and he gets people to miss him because they, I guess.
Lowry adds the extra point, and the Kansas City Chiefs converting the fumble recovery of Derek Thomas. 11 yards on this play. DeBerg dumps it off to Jones. Jones gets around Harden and around McDaniel, and Kansas City leads 17-10. Takeaways, had 2 in the first half, couldn't convert, but the first here in the second. It's Chris Martin forcing the fumble by Schrader, Thomas recovering, and Bill Jones with a touchdown, 11 yards from DeBerg. Lowry to Ron Brown at the 8. And hit hard at the 27, 28-yard line. Rob McGovern, number 50 from Holy Cross.
Rarely does a play work just as designed. You'll see Page coming in motion and walling off whoever's in the way to cover Jones. You'll see they're tied in straight up the field. Now you'll see Jones breaking out in the flat uncovered, and right away Harden underestimates his speed, and then McDaniel takes the wrong angle also. Both of them underestimate Jones' speed as he breaks to the outside.
Caught only 1 touchdown pass in college and has 4 this year. He's known for his blocking, but he's adding another dimension to Marty Schottenheimer's offense. Trailing 17-10, it's Marcus Allen. He's nailed at the 29 as Kevin Ross and Dino Hackett collaborate. Let's check the other late games on our Hertz ticker.
Need scores to beat the 49ers with that 49ers second half thrust they have, and the Rams having just a fair pass defense at best, but the Rams appear inspired for that one.
Schrader down the middle. Caught by Horton, the tight end. Breaking tackles all the way to the 40-yard line.
Again, it's crossing patterns. Ethan Horton, 15 yards down the field crossing, and he's well down the field, and he's going to have Fernandez underneath him, controlling the defenders, and then the ball shown by Schrader over Fernandez's head right to Horton. Now Horton made a lot of people miss, but holding on to the ball right at the last part of that play is important. Now look at Allen come right underneath Thomas, and he's sort of got an arm outside, but he catches him before Thomas is really ready to take on the block.
Marcus Allen on first down, tripped up by Lewis Cooper, as Cooper now is playing in Derek Thomas's spot. Thomas has not returned since bruising his knee when he recovered the fumble that led to that last Kansas City touchdown.
Look for the Raiders to throw the ball now. They're having some success with it. Both teams have got their passing games in sync somewhat, and you're going to see some passing throughout this second half.
A long 5 on second down. Marcus again. First down at the 28.
That is what Marcus can do so well. He's got Steve Smith in front of him, and they're just breaking the ball off Dan Saliamua. So Saliamua goes one way, and Smith takes the other side of him with Marcus Allen right in behind it. Montoya just turned out his man Smith, and there's a big hole, but it's Marcus, the way he hits that hole, he explodes into it.
26 yards rushing for Allen, and a touchdown today. First down at the 28. Chiefs 17, Raiders 10. 9:21 left, third period. Fumble, and Steve Smith able to fall on his own mistake back at the 31.
Well, Smith took an angle a little wider than Schrader expected. But Schrader reverses out and just doesn't get the ball with it.
So Neil Smith, number 90, had his long arms waiting to scrape that one.
Talk about long arms. Neil Smith, what is it, 48 inches?
I mean, 71 and a half inches is wingspan.
Yeah, wingspan is 71 and a half. And I think, what is the length of his arm? 44. Arm length 44 for a shirt. Again, a blitz.
Chris Martin chasing Schrader. Horton is wide open. First down at the 11-yard line. What a throw by Schrader, almost in the grass.
He lobbed it way up over the top and gave Horton a chance. Typically, that ball is going to be an interception. Schrader is pushed out of there by Martin. Now he throws on the run way back to the inside, right into the middle of the field, and what a play by Horton. That Horton is tough after he gets the ball. 3 guys it takes to get him out of there.
Horton, who was the #1 draft pick of the Kansas City Chiefs 5 years ago as a running back out of North Carolina, couldn't make it, and now a project with the Raiders. He's become a top-notch tight end. Marcus for only a yard to the 10 as Percy Snow, who is really growing in his maturity.
Sit down with him for about a 2-hour period and go over all the films and talk about every assignment, because at that point he became a professional. Before that, he said he was going to play Michigan State style, hit with that forearm, go to the ball. In the NFL, that's just not enough.
On 2nd and 9, Schrader to Smith. Ooh, what a hit right at the line of scrimmage. Smith no sooner getting the ball, and Martin hit him, and the ruling is incomplete.
Marcus Allen was supposed to swing up the sideline and take the defenders with him and then throw to Smith late, but the Chiefs pushed Jay Schrader back too far, and the timing just broke down completely.
3 pass defenders come in for Kansas City on 3rd and 9 at the 10-yard line. Fernandez, Gold, and Brown, 3 wide receivers for Art Shell, who has lost only 1 home game since taking over as the Raiders head man. 10-1 here at the Coliseum. Blitz, and it's Allen for a touchdown. On 3rd and 9,
Chiefs lined up and blitzed inside to stop the pass, and there just wasn't anything to the outside. And Cooper was in pass coverage on Horton, so he started chasing Horton down the field, and here comes Marcus Allen right behind Cooper. Just one of those plays where the Chiefs had a special defense, and the Raiders called just the right play for it.
Second today, his 89th career touchdown, and it is tied again. Apparently, the Chiefs not only had one less man because they were blitzing, they had only 10 on the field to begin with. We'll come back with that story. Answering drive, capped by Marcus Allen, has awakened this crowd, and now Jaeger kicks it deep. J.J. Burton with trouble, and the Chiefs will start at their own 10-yard line. A mistake on the kickoff, just as there was a mistake on the touchdown by Marcus Allen. Whoa, one of the Raiders got rejected there in a hurry. Jamie Holland made the tackle at the 10, but on the touchdown by Allen, the Chiefs were playing with a 10-man defense.
Leonard Griffin had left the field. There were only 10 men on the field when Leonard Griffin left, and so consequently, this hole was there. You'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 men. So Allen just releases in here, and poor Cooper was following Horton down the field in pass coverage. Just one of those things with a blitzer inside, and you'll see Cooper leaving and then getting caught. So Lewis Cooper by himself against about 3 people and forced to pass coverage on Horton plus stop the run.
Allen looked back. It was so easy. He thought something must be wrong, almost as if there would be a flag. Tied at 17. 6:39 left in the third period. It's Okoye to the 14 and a flag thrown. That usually means that tight end is holding.
That means number 85 Hayes most likely from that position would have been the man holding.
Half the distance will take it to the 5-yard line.
This is where the game's in the balance.
Training was all defense, a coordinator defense at Cleveland before coming head coach. Said the offense he's almost marveled at how quick and tough that quarterback has to be even to this day. From his end zone, DeBerg has to be quick, and he throws to the tight end as Hayes makes amends out to the 19-yard line. Jonathan Hayes, a play of about 14 yards. Now let's check our 10-minute start that just makes that game interesting.
I know it. DeBerg threw a beautiful ball that last play. Well timed. He faked the run and hit Hayes beautifully.
On 2nd and 1, Okoye gets a hole. And he bulls his way to a first down at the 27-yard line. Eddie Anderson and Lionel Washington from the secondary on the tackle.
David Lutz and Mike Webster did a beautiful job of blocking. That's the first play that Okoye's gotten any chance to stride out. Otherwise, he's been stopped, and his strides have been stopped. He couldn't do anything with it. He couldn't reach over anybody.
Bill Jones, the blocking back in front of Okoye, is the injured Chief with 5:17 left in the third. In a struggle for the top spot in the AFC West, the Chiefs and the Raiders tied at 17. 5:15 left in the third period as quarterback Schrader waits for his turn. Steve DeBerg has a first down at his own 26. Make it the 27. Throws for Stephon Page as he splits the seam and gets out to the 49. Lionel Washington made the tackle. 22 yards on the play.
Earlier in the game, DeBerg waited too long to get this ball off. This time he fakes inside very nicely, then throws the ball right between defenders, splitting a zone, and Washington comes over and makes the stop. Now that was a beautifully timed throw, but Stephon had to make that catch in traffic, and earlier in the game he was sandwiched. And that shows the kind of courage he's got. You know, Bill Jones out of there hurts worse than losing Okoye or Word, one or the other, because Jones is a critical blocker. Consequently, DeBerg is going with 3 receivers instead of 2 running backs.
DeBerg appeared to change plays and goes to the run and into Raider territory. Drives Christian Okoye to the Los Angeles 47. Bob Golick. Second down, 6.
DeBerg changing the play.
6 seconds on the play clock. 3 seconds. They won't get it off. Now, Bill, there's a case. Wouldn't you almost be better off taking the 5-yard penalty than losing a precious timeout?
You probably would.
Kansas City.
Oh, and Lutz got hot.
DeBerg throwing and completes it. It is to
Beautiful.
Page again, much like the play that got them out of their own end, a first down at the 22 of the Raiders.
Well, Harden is supposed to be over there to help on that seam pass. And DeBerg is letting Page release straight up the field. And you'll see a slight fake, but to Word, that doesn't matter. But look at the throw. He throws it right over the top. And Washington can't quite make that play. But you need the safety. You need Anderson or Harden to intersect that pass. Especially with DeBerg looking right at it for a good period of time before he throws it.
17 all. Now the Chiefs have driven deep into Raider territory.
These are beautifully called plays by Joe Pender, the offensive coordinator. They really are.
A little delay, and it's Barry Word trapped in his backfield, and Mike Harden makes the stop for a yard loss.
It looked as though the pulling guard on that play got so deep that Word had nowhere to go. I believe it was David Lutz, and I think he adjusted his course to the defender rather than running a full-speed course. So you see the whole play upset. Lutz is getting so much depth, and he sort of trips and falls. I guess he's trying to cut down Greg Townsend.
No, Schottenheimer comes in with his flush formation. That's McNair in the backfield and 4 wide receivers. Actually, Word stays in, not McNair. Draw, big hole, but it closes well.
Ricky
What a
Ellison.
play. Ellison saved a big game.
Ricky was just zeroed in on Word, and he just came right over and made the stop. No one even attempted to block it. So Ricky's man was that fullback. You see Ricky number 50 stepping, just watching him, then penetrating right inside of Scott Davis and making the play.
Well, if they'd have pinned off Ellison.
Oh, it was gone. Yeah.
No
it
one
was gone.
downfield. Ellison, very bright guy. Works with Lockheed, the Star Wars program, as a research analyst in the offseason. Well, DeBerg down to the 20-yard line. That'll please his son, who wants him to run more, but
He
that
got his
won't
chance.
please the Chiefs to see that picture. It looks as if he has a cramp.
Well, Steve was thinking 3 points. The instant he started to run, he wanted to get in closer for the 3 points. He knew he wasn't going to score. Looks like a cramp. He's trying to pull that toe up.
Started the scoring today with a 35-yard field goal. NFL's leading scorer this year is Lowry with all those field goal chances. 22 for 25 prior to this kick. This to give the Chiefs the lead.
If you want to win a game with one kick, this is the guy to have.
It is just good, and twice today he's just skidded it through on the inside of that upright. So Lowry's toe, or instep as it may well be, gives Kansas City the lead by 3. Here, those hands look as if they've been around the league. Kansas City, in posing for their media guide, went to the real McCoy, didn't they?
This is the guy. How many years did he play?
17 years now. Mike Webster.
They took him out. Took him out in the mud to pose for the picture.
Yeah,
And he
they were just gonna
rolled around in the mud to make sure he was really dirty for this picture. He wanted it to be real. He wanted it to be the real thing.
Well, Webster indeed is all of that the real thing. Here's the kickoff going to Ron Brown. Spinning down at the 22-yard line. Danny Copeland got a piece of him on the special teams.
Brought down at the 22.
Well, we get a chance to see some forward passing now, because running the ball on obviously, and picking and choosing to do it is fine, but Schrader's going to have to get this team down the field, throw the ball. There's plenty of time, but they're going to have to get big chunks of yardage. Plenty of time to do it.
Look at the finals from earlier today as Philadelphia beat the Giants. Bears lost big. Indianapolis upset Cincinnati. Now the Montana's thrown another touchdown pass. Pittsburgh leads the Jets by 10. Here it's Kansas City by 3. Fernandez, first down at the 39. Mervin Fernandez, first catch of the game, 17 yards in front of Albert Lewis.
Fernandez hasn't been doing that much. It's not him. They haven't been getting him the ball. He's averaging 17 yards a catch. He's got 3 touchdowns, 37 catches, but I'm sure they'd prefer they be up around 40 to 50 catches. Now that's a nice job inside. Nice throw by Schrader. Very well done. You can expect the Raiders to open up this passing game now because they're getting protection.
Well, the Raiders in no hurry to run off a play as the final seconds of the third period tick away. It was a very closely played defensive struggle. The first half till the final 2 minutes has opened up, and the Chiefs with a 20-17 lead. Schrader and the Raiders begin at the 40. Both Jackson and Allen are in there, and here comes Bo breaking tackles and trying to use his speed to get outside and finally run out of bounds. And a flag goes down as apparently they felt the tackler Ross should have let go of Jackson.
There was just a little extra shove in there. That didn't look that flagrant, but the officials are really sensitive now about out-of-bounds hits, the late hit, when it's obvious the ball carrier is clearly out of bounds, to try to make contact with him.
And in some ways, you get over there in that slippery footing, it's almost hang on so you don't fall.
Face mask foul at the end of the run. 5 yards. We're going to replay the down. It's still first down and 3.
Bo's speed just really can't help him here. There's just too many people out flanking him. Kevin Ross, it really didn't grab it. I think they were a little bit sensitive for that call. But talking about Schrader, the last few games, as we saw those statistics, he just hasn't produced what you need to have a winning game. You notice the last 3 games, 42%, no touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and he's going to have to improve his performances for the Raiders to really seriously look at the championship game.
First down and 3 as he had gained 2 and then they added the 5. Marcus Allen gets the first down as he charges to the Kansas City 46.
Wisniewski and Graves took their guys and just drove them back and sustained the blocks, allowing Marcus to get some running room. And I don't think there's anybody in football like Marcus who can pick a spot, find it, and not lose any speed as he gets there. Even Bo will stop and start. Certainly Okoye and even Word. But Marcus just slides in between people. And all you have to do is sustain your block, and he'll find that little crease.
We should point out that 2 of the defensive stars are not in there for Kansas City. Derek Thomas and Deron Cherry are on the sidelines. Both with knees. Not serious, but no hint that they're going to return either. Schrader all day. And finally, coming up to wrap him up is Dino Hackett, the inside backer, who is the leading tackler of this Kansas City team once again this year.
He's really small for that spot. Dino weighs about 235.
225, he told us.
225. Well, he comes in at
probably the lightest inside linebacker in the game, he said.
They try to protect him. They try to play him like the Raiders played Benson, where there really isn't anybody to block him from his position.
Marcus wrapped up at the 46. That was a sack on the Hackett play, which gives Kansas City 4 today. They started with 37, so they built their NFL lead to 41 in harassing the opposing quarterback.
Schrader, I think, on that last 2 plays ago with a sack, I think he thought he could run, and he didn't even see Hackett sitting there.
Saw Thomas back in the lineup now for Kansas City. Raiders go with 3 wide receivers on 3rd and 10. 2 of 5 and 3rd and 4 more today. He breaks free. And he has the first down and more to the 30-yard line. 16 more yards for Schrader on the scramble.
I'm sure the Raiders staff, Al Davis included, are glad to see Schrader be spontaneous like this. He's been programmed too much. You see Marcus Allen come all the way over and hit Martin. That gives Schrader a chance to get out of there. Now whatever speed he's got, he tries to just relax and run.
33 yards for Schrader on 3 runs today, and
you need that dimension, Dick. You really do. Neither team have really had that. Certainly not DeBerg or Schrader. And if they can get just a little bit of that spontaneity, there'll be a play like this, a broken play that they can get yards on.
Jackson split way out to the bottom of your screen, and Schrader's looking for ball, overshoots him. Well, Jeff Donaldson was coming over from that free safety position to double cover on Jackson, and Schrader figured, that wouldn't have been a wise choice. He had to hit him earlier.
Well, with Jackson, they
Trailing 20-17. Raiders 2nd and 10 at the Kansas City 30. Fumble. And Mike Bell has recovered for Kansas City.
Oh boy, the ball he just dropped the ball. He didn't. That's the second time that's happened. He went up through traffic and he just dropped the ball. There's no other explanation for it.
Greg Meister, 69, was the man pressuring Schrader out of the cup. Reached in, knocked it away.
Yeah, the ball just goes. The quarterback has to keep both hands in the ball when he's in traffic.
Well, nice to see that Bill Walsh brought his fan club. Kansas City forcing 3 fumbles, 2 by Schrader, a blocked field goal, and 5 sacks, and maintain a 3-point lead. Fourth quarter at the Coliseum. They start from the 21. Mike Bell recovering the fumble. There goes Howie Long. Is this the 3rd offside on Long, who has been pulled offside 2 previous times on that snap count of Steve DeBerg?
Howie's trying to get inside of Rich Baldinger before Rich can get a step started.
Number 75, defense, 5 yards, first down.
He's so quick anyway, perhaps as quick as anyone off the ball in the NFL at that position.
But again, look at DeBerg's helmet jar just a little bit. Just move a little bit. Howie moved on that helmet and not on the ball.
Bill Jones, you saw, took the bump from Long, so in a way, bad news for Jones, but good news for Chiefs fans. He's okay, and is back in the game as the blocking back in front of Barry Word. It's Word into the pile and close to the 35-yard line, and let's go to New York. NFL Live. Division, Bob, has that kind of look all season long, doesn't it? Those 3 teams battling away, in Cleveland at the bottom, 2-9. Second down and 2. Good fake by DeBerg, and he's going to go long for Stephon Page. What a catch, and then he can't hang on. Looked as if he was going to steal it from Lionel Washington.
Washington, an excellent defensive back, just timed his jump when that ball got there. Although Page had inside position, boy, DeBerg throws late and high, and look at the timing. Beautiful job of just sort of mixing his arm through Page, and Page had no way to hold on to the ball. Now, DeBerg certainly could have run for his first down there. That's one of those features in a quarterback. If they will run, just to sustain the attack, Steve could have run around that corner for 8 or 10 yards.
Third down and 2. Kansas City hurrying to the line of scrimmage. 6 seconds, 5-4 on the play clock. 1, they just get it away. The quickie is complete to Thomas, and the little wide receiver from Oregon State has the first down shy of the 40.
Thomas was inside 2 other receivers, and really it was the old-fashioned pick.
Under 11 minutes left, fourth quarter. 3 fumbles by the Raiders has slowed them down, and Kansas City leads 20-17.
Uh-oh.
And again
it's DeBerg. He's using a sort of a head bob and getting people to move. This time it was Bob Golick.
79, defense, 5 yards, first down.
As I say, DeBerg's a master.
You called it early. He's one of the best at it. That's 4 5-yard penalties that DeBerg has drawn with that snap count. Here comes Barry Word, and down he goes after a yard gain. We talked about before, but it's also not only the body movement but the inflection. Tell me how that goes again.
Well, if it's on 3, you start with a hut, then the second hut is hut, and then hut was so the center snaps the ball on 3, but you've got people to move on the second hut. How'd I sound, Dave?
Oh, pretty good.
I saw you jump
drew me offside, and I'm on your team, so it's 5 the other
everybody
way.
Up here moving.
From the 45, 2nd and 4. Word. Oh, he made 2 after he was hit. Looked as if he'd go down at the 46. Got out to the 49, where it'll be 3rd and 1. Kansas City, when they run the ball, they win. And when they run it 30 times or more, they're perfect. We'll count up Dennis Medician, our statistician, how many rushes so far today for Kansas City. Well, there it is. 20 times is all. Only 50 yards against a team, the Raiders, that allowed Miami only 14 yards on Monday night. They are tough against the run. We're going to measure.
At this point, I don't think it's the Chiefs running that's doing it. It's just being opportunistic, blocking the field goal that would have been 3 points, and then 2 fumbles that I can think of. But those are the kinds of things the Chiefs have been winning on this year, and the Raiders have fallen victim to. Barry Word, by the way, 240 pounds. As he turned into a great back.
Now, this is a man that at 220 pounds was a 13.8 high hurdler and was good enough to qualify for the Olympic trials. 220 pounds. That gives you an idea of his agility. Kansas City, 3rd and link on the chain from a first down. Okoye to the 50. That'll be enough. Not much, but he only needed an inch, and he got a yard.
Well, he had Eddie Anderson and Mike Harden right on top of the stop, but Okoye at 260 pounds looks like he got that extra foot or two, barely.
That'll be first down at the 50-yard line for Kansas City, and the clock continues to tick away. 8:49, 8:48 left, 4th period.
You know, Barry Word, what a difference between when we saw him in that preseason game in Berlin until now, just in his composure, his confidence, his maturity. He's established himself on the team, all the doubts behind him.
It's Word outside, running room. Look at him go at 240 to the 25-yard line. A gain of 25 before Terry McDaniels. Oh, my word.
He had, oh boy, laugh a minute. He had at Virginia at 220 pounds. He didn't play 1 year. He had a problem with the, I guess, the authorities on a drug charge. Spent some time in jail. Came out of it, had a tryout with New Orleans, couldn't make it. And Carl Peterson calls him, and look at the product he's got. He's a good guy, clear-headed, bright, intelligent. He's matured, and I think he has naturally a long career ahead of him with the Chiefs.
Averaging nearly 6 yards a carry coming into this game.
There they go again.
Offside, Benson. They'll run on a free play. It's Okoye slamming to the 19. That was the last black jersey left, Eddie Anderson, and he took the brunt of that blow, giving away about 60 pounds.
Well, it's good he was alert to it because everybody moved, and if everybody slowed down waiting for a whistle.
Offside. Number 75, defense. 5-yard penalty.
Howie Long again. I don't think he's going to send DeBerg a Christmas card. That's 4 on him.
Well, they did it the last time they played. You could see it early in the game he got Howie. So you've got to know going into this game, the only thing you can do is just spend a lot of time practicing moving the ball and not listening to that snap count.
They take the penalty, and it's 1st and 5. The gain by Okoye was about 8. And it's offside again. Golick across the line of scrimmage.
Dave Adolph must be going out of his mind, the defensive coordinator, because regardless of the drilling and everything that goes with it,
79, defense, 5 yards, first down.
there's no need to have to do that. I think everybody would agree. And there's Dave. Dave worked with Marty Schottenheimer for 8 years, so he knows the Cleveland, all of Kansas City offense, and they've done a great job of stopping it. But this particular thing just kills you.
Yeah, they pass go again. They collect 200 more, and 4 5-yard offside penalties on this drive from the 16. Okoye just falling
Dick,
fullback.
This is when the big back starts to pay off. Everybody, no matter how conditioned you are, you're not as quick and as strong as you were early in the game. There's some fatigue factor. And the big 250-pound back like Okoye or Barry Ward, they're the guys that can start breaking tackles, falling forward, getting the extra yards. And that's been the history of the Chiefs.
That was a 5-yard stumble. Current drive eating up the clock. 6:40 remaining 4th quarter. Kansas City leads by 3.
Uh-oh.
Wide open is Jones for another touchdown. Bill Jones, 4 in the last 2 games.
Jones was uncovered, but Hayes was uncovered. Nobody near Hayes. I thought he'd throw to Hayes. He was already in the end zone. Neither of those guys were accounted for. Total breakdown in the coverage.
11 yards on that touchdown, just as they went 11 yards to Jones earlier in this half. So he has become quite a touchdown maker, Bill Jones, from Southwest Texas State. He was an outstanding Texas high school player, went to SMU, and then, of course, the SMU program suspended, migrated to Southwest Texas State, became a run blocker at 222 pounds, and now 5 touchdown catches out of 12 receptions this year.
Well, they just slip him in the flat.
Lowry's extra point.
They slip him into the flat. He normally blocks. You see his course is like he's going to block. Then he just slips to the outside, and Okoye makes the block. Nobody there because everybody is geared up to deal with Bill Jones. And meanwhile, he slips right by him in the pass pattern.
Impressive drive engineered by Steve DeBerg. 20 of the 73 yards on 5-yard offside penalties. His 3rd touchdown pass of the game. 2 to Bill Jones, 11 yards.
Both touchdowns were the identical same play and basically on the same spot on the field. Both cases they failed to make coverage.
Kicks it deep. Ron Brown at the 1. And knocked out of bounds shy of the 20. Let's see how open Jones was.
Well, Jerry Robinson and Ricky Ellison must have been in coverage. But you'll see Hayes here, and then Jones acting as though he's going to block, then breaking into the flat. Nobody covers either their man, and Okoye, of course, makes the fake inside, then picks up the block. So there's Jones slipping into the flat. Look at both men wide open to the outside. Same exact play they've scored with before.
27-17, Kansas City. A winded A by the Chiefs would tie them for first, but they would have the edge on the Raiders on the head-to-head, winning both games of the series. It's Galt picking up about 17 to the 35 before Kevin Ross and Lloyd Burris can stop him.
Galt going to the inside. This is what the Raiders have been able to do with him. Really has never been a very good receiver, breaking back to the inside. And that looks like trouble there.
It appeared that Jay Schrader went down, and we'll say Vince Evans will be coming in. And we welcome you to Los Angeles. Those of you who have been watching the Pittsburgh Steelers New York Jets game, Steelers in front. We'll keep you in touch with the outcome from the Meadowlands. But here in Los Angeles, Dick Enberg with Bill Walsh at the Coliseum, 65,170. And now watching with concern as Jay Schrader, the quarterback of the Raiders, is down. They have only one other quarterback available, and that's Vince Evans. It appears to be an ankle or a knee, a lower leg of Schrader. The Kansas City Chiefs have just scored moments ago the 3rd touchdown pass of the day. DeBerg has thrown 2 of them to Bill Jones as fullback to take a 27-17 lead. Here's the injury now to Schrader. Let's see what happens. Neil Smith diving in low and pinned Schrader along with his blocker. Appeared to be Wisniewski falling on Schrader.
Looks like Schrader's leaning on that left leg as he throws right there, and it just twists his knee to the inside. And I'm sure Neil didn't have that in mind, but he sure as heck had Sack in mind. It didn't look like a real severe twist, so, and he's putting some weight on it. I don't think you'll see him again today, but he's most likely not going to be out very long.
Vince Evans, the veteran from Southern California in his 11th year, will be the quarterback. Steve Berline is not active. He's one of the 2 that did not dress today. Evans gets a hand as he comes on. There's Berline, who has not been active any game this year after refusing to sign in the early camp in a long holdout. Many feel he's being penalized by the Raider management for not coming to camp on time. Hasn't suited up once this year. Some would argue he is the best of the 3. Marcus Allen. To the 47-yard line, a gain of 11. Here's how the scoring developed in this game. Lowry kicked an early field goal, then Schrader to Tim Brown, 51-yard pass, set up a Marcus Allen 3-yard dive into the end zone, 7-3 Raiders. Then DeBerg came back, led a drive, and threw a 19-yard touchdown pass to Emil Harry, 10-7. And the last play of the half, Jeff Jaeger kicked a 50-yard field goal to tie it at 10. DeBerg to Jones twice in the second half, and that's the difference. Evans' first throw complete to Horton, and Ethan Horton all the way to the 18, but a flag is down.
Well, Evans showed a lot of poise at that point. Of course, 11 years in the league. He's played a lot of good football, a lot of poise. He timed the throw nicely.
Number 24, defense. Penalty decline, first down.
J.C. Pearson was holding. The play counts all the way to the 18, 36 yards.
Well, Horton's played very well, that's for sure. His run after the catch has been good. Look, they've held him and lost the coverage. Looked as though Cooper held him and then lost it.
Horton, who had 17 catches all year, has 4 today for 97 yards. It's certainly in the back of his mind playing against the team that drafted him #1, Kansas City, and then releasing him. Found a new career as a tight end, was a college running back. Here's Marcus. Allen already with 2 touchdowns today, looking for the hat trick. First and goal at the 5 with 4.5 minutes left.
Mosbar on Salyamua, and Wisniewski coming out on Hackett just did a beautiful job of splitting people. And when Marcus hits that hole, it's full bore. Look at him get 5 yards after he's hit.
Vince Evans is going to call timeout. Allen with 2 touchdowns and 71 yards rushing, the leading all-time Raider rusher and the leading rusher again this year, although Bo Jackson breathing down his neck. Come back to the smoggy blue skies of Los Angeles. The Rams still leading by 4. They were up 21-7, about 7 to go at Candlestick. Pittsburgh has beaten the Jets, and it appears Phoenix will have the Patriots still another loss. First and goal, 5-yard line. Raiders trail by 10 with 4:23 to go. Marcus Allen, touchdown, his 3rd of the game.
Well, we talk about people tiring in the 3rd and 4th quarter. That Chief defense just didn't rise to the occasion. They're on their heels. That Raider offensive line is knocking them off the ball, and Allen is hitting that line so hard he's just splitting people. So the fatigue factor at this point in the game allows for people to run. Now the key will be, with 4:19 to go, whether the Raiders can even get the ball back, because they'll suffer the same way.
Allen with his 90th career touchdown. A great player. San Diego High School quarterback, and of course a Heisman winner at Southern California, and a great All-Pro here with the Raiders. They may be reviewing, but it appeared he was well into the end zone before he lost the ball. That was an 81-yard drive in 5 plays, started by Schrader and finished by Vince Evans.
Allen just splitting people. Beautiful job of blocking by Ethan Horton. Steve Wright turned in Neil Smith, number 90, and Allen just hit that hole for full bore.
5 times a Pro Bowl player, Marcus Allen. Art Shell blocked for him as a rookie.
Yeah, they played 1 year together. 50 season for Art Shell.
Jeff Jaeger adds the extra point. It's 27-24.
Montoya right here driving snow back, but this is the key block. This is Wright blocking Neil Smith, and you'll see Marcus coming just outside of that block. A beautiful job by Steve Wright. He stood up Neil Smith and just turned him in slightly, and we split it.
Now with 4:19 to go, Steve Berg matching his 3 touchdown passes with Marcus Allen's 3 touchdown rushes. And Derek Thomas leaving the game for part of this 3rd period after recovering a fumble and bruising his knee, but did return. Schrader, no official report yet from the sidelines. We're trying to get that information. Apparently they wrapped Schrader's knee. They won't indicate whether or not he's able to return. We're talking about Schrader now, not Thomas.
In a sense, it's sort of a botched game by the Raiders, unless they can come back and tie the score here.
They've lost 3 fumbles to Kansas City, had a field goal block, and been sacked 5 times. But the Raiders could still win as Jaeger hits it high and deep. Todd McNair at the 7. Smothered at the 19. So DeBerg and company will take over at that spot. Ricky Hunley, the big linebacker, in on that stop. DeBerg left the game for a couple of plays with a calf muscle. And he still looks a little ginger, doesn't he? Well, after the action from the Coliseum, and it's been an outstanding game. What a night we have for you on NBC. A double bill, double feature. Get the popcorn ready. Art Carney's Emmy-winning performance and Where Pigeons Go to Die. Then James Ferrantino and Charles Hayes star in a movie come out of actual police files in The Line of Duty. A Cop for the Killing. That's tonight, only on NBC. Barry Word. 1 yard, that's it.
Howie Long forced that ball to bounce outside of him.
Terry McDaniel knifed in from the corner, number 36.
McDaniel sitting outside was right there to make the stop.
And we have a timeout. Asked him this week, how does he feel? How would he measure this season? Said, I'm not happy with the record. I just feel that we're better than 6-4. We've lost 2 games by 1 point. Remember the game on Monday night at Denver by 1 when it appeared they had won it. They lost on the last play, and then they lost on the last play 17-16 at home to Seattle. But he said, we've gotten what we deserve, and I think we're pretty good. Not great yet, but real good.
He said right now that we're at our best, at least for this season. We're playing our best football coming in here. Kansas City has come in with so much confidence, exuding it, not cocky, not arrogant, just confident.
Second down, a long 8 actually, closer to 8th and 9. Barry Word, and the 240-pounder is across the 25-yard line. He came into the game with 512 yards rushing and a 5.9 average. He had 85 against the Raiders at Arrowhead earlier, and Los Angeles spends its second timeout. They're going to use them right here. Try to stop Kansas City, and then have plenty of time left on that clock to tie or win.
Well, the Chiefs have substituted their wide receiver group, so they're not going to try to hammer it in there unless they have a draw or some kind of a trap play. But this surprises me because Word that time slid away from the defenders, and the defenders were tiring. There's no question about it. Howie Long and the entire group are fatiguing just a little bit, and so you can cut back and split them.
Into the eyes of quarterback Jay Schrader, who has more to think about than just trying to win this game now. No one knows how serious that knee injury may be.
Well, I'm sure Mike White, his coach, will sit down with him and talk about dropping the ball in traffic. And he hasn't run that much this year, and he just doesn't protect the ball as he works between people.
If you had not been with us at the start, Schrader did fumble twice, both times recovered by the Chiefs.
And he's done some good things. Some of his throwing has been very, very good.
3rd and 4, and this crowd making it tough on DeBerg.
Well, Todd McNair, the running back, has been key in these situations.
Well protected over the middle to Thomas. Drilled, but he hangs on to it. What a hit, and Rob Thomas at 171 pounds able to embrace a first down, and Mike Harden leveled on it.
Harden had a running start at it. Thomas goes out like he's going to break to the outside, then he comes back underneath, and McDaniel got lost in the traffic. So it took Harden to come up and make the stop.
Well, that would have been his daddy, Aaron Proud. Aaron, who played many years with the New York Giants, 9 years from 62 to 70. First down at the 32. 3:05 left. Raiders have only 1 timeout remaining, plus the 2-minute timeout. And it's Word to the 34.
You can almost be sure the Raiders can just stack up when the Chiefs have Word or Okoye in the game because they're going to run them inside.
They're looking to the sidelines, but Archell says, I'm going to save that one timeout. So Kansas City can run this play and then take it right to the 2-minute timeout. Did you have anyone help you on the sidelines in the timeout situation with all those calls to head coaches?
Right, we had one person. Whenever I'd ask, he would tell me, obviously, because you can't lose track of it.
Second down, and it's Word met abruptly by number 70, Scott Davis, as we tick down to the 2-minute timeout. And at the 2-minute timeout, we welcome those of you who have seen the Phoenix Cardinals defeat the New England Patriots 34-14. You're at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Kansas City has the ball and the lead, 2 to go, and we'll return in a moment. At the Coliseum in Los Angeles, 65,170. One timeout left for the Raiders, who trail by 3, but they have Kansas City in a 3rd down and 8 at the 34-yard line. Big play. First place on the line. Raiders win. They've got a 2-game lead. Chiefs win. They're tied, but the Chiefs beat the Raiders earlier, so would have the advantage head-to-head. A draw to McNair. He's got the first down. He turns the corner to the 45. And now the Raiders have only one timeout left. Will they spend it here? Clock is running.
McNair on a draw play. He's the key 3rd down, 5, 6, or 7 yards to go. He starts in, and then the pass rush takes people inside. Greg Townsend going for the sack, jumped inside of John Alt, and there was a big hole outside. And McNair just instinctively found it, because that play was not designed to bounce all the way over to the right side of the field.
And that is not a familiar role for number 48, Todd McNair. He had carried only 9 times all season long, and here in the 11th game, he gets one big carry, 13 yards, a first down that should allow Kansas City to run out the remaining time. There's 1:44 left. They have a first down, and the Raider fans feel there's no way that they can get it back. And Steve DeBerg, the veteran at 36, so many things are going right for him, and this year, it's as if he were 18 and someone said, you want a dream come true? We're going to let you play in the NFL, and you're going to be quarterback as well. Here in his 14th season, enjoying his best year by far.
Well, the whole idea of running Todd McNair was, if he didn't get the first down, they could force a Raider timeout or use as much time as they could off the clock, so they weren't necessarily going for the first down.
Joe Pendry on the offense. Howard Mudd is line coach. The Kansas City Chiefs, as they run out the final few plays, they just need to kneel down, prevent an exchange error, and they will go back to Kansas City tied for first, but with the edge on the Raiders.
Well, both clubs have to get some consistency, Dick. Both of them, they lose at the most inopportune time and just aren't able to establish themselves. Kansas City is just as skilled with that as the Raiders. They just need a consistent effort every week instead of the great win against Miami, then the loss to Kansas City, and Kansas City getting themselves upset by people like Indianapolis. So both clubs down the stretch have just got to get more consistency.
That'll bring up 3rd down, 49 seconds. They have to snap it only one more time. A rough day for first place teams as the Giants lost their first game. The Bears were beaten, humiliated by Minnesota. The 49ers were losing late, and the Raiders in first place about to be defeated. And here's the final snap of the game, and there's no way to stop it now. Don't forget, tonight on NBC, double bill for you, 2 features Where Pigeons Go to Die, In the